Troubles in Egypt's on high alert after that night of riots left at least 3 dead. It's left nearly 1,000 injured. The demonstration, of course, also vented anger out against the Israeli embassy. Let's talk to someone about that. Let's talk, in fact, to Mohammed Abdel Fattah. He's joining us, local journalist, joining us on the line from Cairo now. Very good evening. Thanks for being with us. The Egyptian government's promised, hasn't it, to keep all the embassies in the country safe from now on. It didn't succeed very well last night. Does it look like they can deliver on that pledge?
Well, I hope they can deliver on their pledge in respect of international law and international standards. And I think this would be something for international law experts to elaborate on. But what I can authentically deliver is we've got to understand why hundreds of thousands of angry Egyptian youth last night gathered outside the embassy. Many of them, like Spider-Man, went on top of the building and climbed up till like 14 or 15 stories to reach the Israeli embassy and take the flag out of it. That means there is a lot of anger at what Israel did recently, which basically they crossed the border from Israel into Egypt, killed a number of Egyptian soldiers, and they promised investigation, and nothing has not been delivered yet. Ever since, there has been huge demonstrations and a sit-in of a few days outside the Israeli embassy, demonstrators asking the Egyptian government to at least expel the Israeli ambassador from Egypt. Taking in consideration, this is not the first time that Israeli troops kill people or soldiers in the border area. The Egyptian government, so mistakenly, has not responded to the will of the demonstrators. For weeks after weeks, they have not been serious enough in responding to the public opinion. And because of this inaction, those demonstrators took the law into their own hands and expelled the Israeli ambassador out of Cairo.
The US Defense Secretary Leon Panetta had something to say about it. He called the leader, as you know, of the interim military government as soon as that unrest broke out, apparently telling him to step up the protection of the Israeli embassy. Are you at all surprised that Washington was so quick to react? I'm really thinking because, of course, Israel is a top ally of America, so I guess there is no surprise there. But I just wanted your take on it.
Can you repeat the last part again, please?
Yeah, we're saying America rang Cairo last night, telling it to protect the Israeli embassy. Are you surprised by that move?
Well, I'm not really surprised because I think their reaction to what happened in the Israeli embassy was much quicker than their reaction to what happened to their embassy in Syria. And I'm not sure how much do they care for their own embassies being attacked at other countries than they do care for the Israeli embassy in another country. I would like to see the United States being a fair player in the region, not just, you know,
after all,
supporting Israel.
After all,
not just supporting Israel at the expense of other parties, and being so enthusiastic in defending Israeli interests. So yeah, that's what I have to say about this.
All right, Mohammed,
that's just a diplomatic statement they have to make anyways.
Let's focus back in at home now. Why do you think, personally, that the new interim leaders there aren't listening to you and your fellow countrymen who have something to say? Why aren't they listening to you after all you've been through over the last year?
Because very much over the past 7 or 8 months, they have been behaving like part and parcel of the outgoing Mubarak regime. I mean, those military generals were appointed by Mubarak, and there is no surprise at all when we find them following the same policies that have been followed by Mubarak. I will give you a simple example. The newly appointed foreign minister, who is not now in power, who has been appointed after Mubarak was deposed, took 2 decisions, namely that he would end the siege in Gaza according to international law, and also would rehabilitate ties with Iran. Now, it seems that the military generals did not like this. They deposed the foreign minister, and nothing happened with regard to the Gaza siege, and nothing happened with regards to our relations with Iran. So they have been very keen in keeping everything in place as much as Mubarak did. But the new variable on the ground is that Egypt's public opinion has been liberated. And that means they're not going to be silent again when Israel commits any act of thuggery on our border or the people living on our border. And that's what has brought down what happened last night. So we have to look at the motivation to make a strategic solution to what has actually been happening.
Let's just leave Israel, if we can, for a second out of it. Let's just focus in on the broader picture back at home where you are. Where do you think your country is going to go over the next 12 months or so? We've got these presidential and parliamentary elections coming up. Which way is it going to go? Where do you see it heading? You've got your ear to the ground. You're a man in the know. Where's it going to go?
Well, the military council, which is in power now, has been promising that they are going to hold parliamentary elections late November to transfer power. That's their promise, after which they will make a constitution, and then they said we will hold presidential elections and a complete transfer of power will happen. But these promises have been very vague. There's no real tight schedule for every step that's going to happen, and there's been much doubt that they will actually do so. So the only guarantee for us to make sure this will be delivered is to stay on the streets, keep the momentum going of the revolution, which has been so successfully happening last night, the gatherings in Tahrir Square and in other cities,
Mohammed,
with another incident that happened at the Israeli embassy, which was at the end of the day. So it shouldn't be taken as the hallmark of the whole day of the demonstrations.
I'm sorry to interject.
So I'm really hopeful, as long as there are people on the street keeping the pressure on the military council to leave power, because we have not been very much satisfied with the performance.
Mohammed, I'm going to have to butt in there. I hear everything you say, and I thank you so much for being on the programme. We're just really out of time. We're going to hit the bottom of the hour on our headlines in a minute. Mohammed Abdel Fattah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.